Han is hot right now.
pros are just like, mess around, but now all
Han
the
really that hot right now?
No.
Hot's hot
I
right
think
now.
so.
It's a hot ticket.
No, I think you mean...
Sell, Dota pros, buy,
I think you're confusing hot and cold.
No.
I think you mean ex-Han players are
Han
hot.
players are hot. That's what I'm saying. Han is hot right now. You gotta buy Han. You gotta sell your old Dota 1. The market's in shambles. It's all over the place. I like scandals. The market's in shambles. That's
Okay.
moving on.
Let's go into the draft of game number 1 of
Yeah,
Team
let's do that.
Empire versus Virtus.Pro.
Bye. Here we go.
Yeah, so...
Whatever.
We switched topics.
You know what I'm talking about. Invoker coming up here. Beautiful hero.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Look at that hand of
Carl,
Midas.
hey.
So, just a question. Did Earthspirit actually go 4-4 yesterday? He did,
Did
right?
he?
The last game that Empire have? Earthspirit?
I can tell.
I'm gonna say yes before she releases
Earthspirit
I think so, yeah. They had
Empire
Gyro,
won.
Bane, and Earthspirit. So, Earthspirit
Empire
went
won.
4-4 yesterday.
Okay.
And now
Yeah.
he gets taken
Yeah.
out first.
You're right.
Because Virtus.Pro bans Earthspirit. Because Empire has first pick. And I think, yeah, Earthspirit was first picked in all series
Yeah.
yesterday. And he won all games.
Won all games.
And
You're
VP opened with Darkseer and Earthspirit both games yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna see something different come out of them. And Beastmaster is probably gonna be FNG's hero. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he plays on that hero.
Ooh.
Gonna get to know a bit more.
That's a very early Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
Not a hero that normally gets banned in the second phase. Why do you feel that is?
Well, I think a lot of teams, when people pick up Beastmaster, Witch Doctor is just, it's a nice hero to have against the Beastmaster because in the lane, I mean, the Beastmaster has this war, and so the Witch Doctor stun is really good at dealing with the Beastmaster. And you can also just zone the Beastmaster alone pretty much with one Witch Doctor. Like, normally a support would struggle because of the boar, and Beastmaster actually has kind of high armor and health. But if Witch Doctor he just stands and fights him, and he can cast him if he sends the boar on him, and so it's just a good way of dealing with Beastmaster.
We actually, I mean, OD got banned in the second phase, but Virtus.Pro prefers IO Beastmaster over the OD.
Yeah.
Surprised or not?
I mean,
Should we
maybe
be
they have
surprised
a.
about
What? Should we be surprised
that?
about
Should we
that?
be surprised about that?
Yeah, I'm always surprised by a IO Beastmaster combo. I mean, you're just gonna bust in there and roar. I mean, it's pretty cool. But OD is so strong right now. He's so hot right now.
Yeah.
Buy on OD. Sell Beastmasters. What do you think? You like Beast instead of OD for the IO?
Yeah, I think I think they have a plan with this. Like, they have already the split push going. You know, you have the vision from the Hawk, and you can set up ganks really easily with Beastmaster. And then you can relocate in with the Wisp, and you can have the vision around the area, so you know you're not getting yourself into any trouble.
True. I don't know.
And could potentially also be push. I mean, you can push with IO, and Beastmaster is really good at pushing as well. So I like this from VP, and they're also on Dire, so they should have easy access to Roche.
Oh, there's a ban out there for you.
Yeah, there's the Sven combination already. I like that they banned out the Ursa because, I mean, as we learned last week with Waga, he said, like, if the IO and Ursa together can have 100% damage immunity on the Ursa bear because it actually stacks the percentage-wise. I don't know how you actually say that mathematically, but there's probably a way for that. I do like the IO Sven combination, though it is still very strong. So already you know that Virtus.Pro is going to be really active. They're going to be pressuring hard. They're going to be pushing hard.
Yeah.
How are you going to deal with that as Team Empire? Picking up Faces Void, is that enough?
I mean, it's a good start, I think. Void is good, obviously, against heroes. Both good against Sven and Wisp, because of you can chrono in a way that if you sort of know where the Wisp will be coming from, what angle, then you can place the Chronosphere so that it's going to be really hard for the Wisp to actually tether in and save someone. At the same time, people also like picking Wisp against Void for that reason, that you actually can, if you position yourself with the Wisp, then you can come in and save someone from the Chrono. But it's good against the Sven because of the Chronosphere. I mean, it's a melee hero. Void is good in general against, melee heroes because it's easier to hit the Chrono.
This is exciting. We could see the fabled purple pub combo of Faceless Void and Witch Doctor. You know? The old Chrono, Scepter, bust them up.
They got good damage as well in the Chronosphere with both Witch Doctor and Invoker.
Yeah.
Heroes, 2 range heroes with a lot of damage.
I feel like it was a solid pick for sure on the Faceless Void. What about Lion? I mean, Lion's pretty good at disrupting everything that they want to do. Very good Hex, very good stun, especially in the Chronosphere. Void has a lot to worry about now. So
yeah, and the off lane for Void is also quite difficult going up against Lion because Void wants to time walk, right? The time is you have 2 seconds to time walk the damage that was dealt, but Lion has a lot of disable and Sven also has a stun. So in a lane against both Sven and Lion, it's really easy for the Void to die. So he has to play really carefully. and I would expect him to probably go into the jungle or just try to leech some experience, unless he gets backup from someone else on that lane.
Well, so far they still can have backup.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think about this new trend of not getting tranquils online anymore? People like that mana boot. You into that?
Because you
I
want to
think it
transfer it into
depends, yeah.
Etherlands, right?
You go Etherlands. I think different players and different teams have a different approach. I mean, I can see both things work. In this game, I think it's kind of like it's kind of nice to have a blink dagger here, because if you jump in, you kind of force the enemies to waste spells on you, which could be nice. Then the Sven gets free reign. But yeah, I think it depends on what heroes you have. If the Lion wants to put himself in a dangerous position by blinking in, then sometimes he can soak spells and tank some stuff for his team. But with the mana boots, he just has the initiation from a longer range. It's more safe, but it's not.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not as precise.
Right.
It's harder to get the same initiation as you do with a blink dagger.
Reserve
All right, now
time.
this is what I like to see from Team Empire. Look at this, they got a plan, and their plan
Team
is big,
Empire's turn
nasty
to
team
bat.
fights. Get the Enigma going in, you got the Void, you got the Witch Doctor follow-up, and all that burst damage, all that control. That's what I'm talking about, Empire. Draskel's going to be wrong, and I'm going to laugh about him. I'm 100% in the Team Empire right now. Come on, boys. How you feel? Am I wrong, Podcat?
I think it's
Don't do this to me.
it's a nice way, I think, of dealing with the Sven and Wisp. It could be potentially if the Enigma can get some space to actually farm up. I mean,
It is fairly greedy, I guess.
it is quite greedy, and Virtus.Pro, I think they're gonna look to obviously fight when these spells are down or before even these heroes are actually active. I mean, Avoid with level 6, he can do stuff, but
5
he kind of
seconds
needs damage
remaining.
from other heroes. And early on, those heroes don't have that much damage yet, the heroes that they have right now.
Reserve time.
So if they fight really early on and can get a fast Roche, then I could see them take control of the map. But if Empire can just play the game a bit longer, then it's going to be very difficult for Virtus.Pro to fight them head on.
Okay. Well, I see the puck ban. That makes a lot of sense to me. You don't want that silence. You don't want that initiation coming in. But I'm confused about this Drow ban. I mean, what does Drow do well against Sven, Death Prophet, Wisp? I mean, just the silence? Just the push?
I actually have no idea, to be honest. I feel like it's really strange. They have Sven. You expect him to be a core.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were going to put Drow mid. I don't know. I think it's really...
I mean, the aura helps Invoker a lot, I guess, in a
And
way.
they-
But
they
does
do have a lot of
he
range.
actually need to have extra
my
help
bad.
with right click in terms of that? Maybe he's not gonna go expert.
No, actually, I could see, okay, the Drow ban could be good. It's also, actually, one thing about the Drow ban here is that both the Forge Spirits and the Eidolons of Enigma,
get it too.
they get the aura. So you can actually
Oh.
push a lot with that Drown Ranger. And yeah, that could be
Reserve
one way
time.
of dealing with the VP lineup.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense now. So that's why I'm not a... I actually am a pro player, so...
Yeah,
What
you're
are you
playing with
gonna do?
DC
Yeah,
now.
you can't use that excuse.
When are we going to see your first...
I am a pro player, so as a pro, I agree with that choice. Clink's coming out. There's some more right click for you. Now, I like that Clink's. It's a little bit of a... I feel like it's a backup plan. The team fight's not going the way. We got a Clink's to push. We got a Clink's to do damage. Is that kind of what he's going to run, you think? Or is it going to be something else?
I feel like it's a bit scary for a VP because they sort of lack lockdown aside from their ults. They have the Void Chrono and they have the Black Hole, but aside from that, they don't really have that much lockdown. Maybe the Invoker can go for Yules or something, so he can actually go around and pick people off, because if they don't have their ults up, then VP can just do whatever they want, pretty much.
Yeah.
So...
I was gonna die fast to Clings though.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can die fast, but then
Then what
after
do you
that,
do?
he gets roared, and then there's the book and Sven. It's hard for also Bone to kill heroes if Sven is around because of the Warcry, and Klink is only physical damage, so...
So who do you favor for this game, for this first game? Is it indeed that you favor Virtus.Pro?
Yeah, I
for that
do. I
reason?
think both as a team outside of the draft, I would favor Virtus.Pro, but I also think that they have a... If I play this game, I'd prefer to play Virtus.Pro's draft.
How about no?
No way, dude. VP might arguably have more skill. They might arguably have the better draft. But you know what Empire's got? Stuns, baby. They got stuns, they got lockdown, and that's all you need in Dodo.
Okay.
Empire all the way.
Okay, let's find out who's gonna take this first game. It is Empire versus Virtus.Pro with OD Pixel and Draskel.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and indeed welcome as we get ourselves ready to get into the first game of the first series of the day, Virtus.Pro up against Team Empire. I'm OD Pixel, I'm joined here by Andy, aka Draskell. We're seeing the drafts, and well, as Slack says, there's a lot of lockdown, a lot of stuns on the side of Empire. They close it up with that Clink's pick. But VP, arguably the team going into this one that a lot of people are going to expect to see with the stronger performance, with some more established players. What are your thoughts coming into this matchup?
I kind of have to side with PyCat. I like Virtus.Pro's draft a little bit more. I think that Empire clearly has some ridiculously good 5-man potential, no question about that. I also like the fact that they took the Clinks, a self-sustained kind of safe laner where you don't need to really help him too much, even against something like a Beastmaster. So in that regard, I think their draft is not bad. I just like I like these kind of drafts from VP where you can control the entire map. You know, you get Beastmaster vision, you can relocate and gank, and you can also 5-man with this lineup as well. Sven and Death Prophet do really well in the 5-man Dota, and BKB's maybe not amazing in this match for the Sven, but might see them play a more aggressive style instead of going for the ultra late, because you can pressure with a Death Prophet. If your team doesn't have push, which VP already kind of do with the Beastmaster anyway, and just the Sven, you just pick a Death Prophet and you instantly can just 5-man Dota.
Well, I guess that's kind of the same for both sides. This is that Empire, they've got a lot of push as well. I mean,
yeah.
You know, with Exalt Invoker, with the Forge Spirits, and then the Eidolons and Clinks, they're going to be able to take towers at a pretty impressive rate as well. And as you said, in terms of getting the game going, do you think there's going to be someone that's going to feel that they've got more of a timer on their draft that compared to the other team?
I feel like Empire going late is really scary to play into, because you always have to worry about Black Hole and Chrono. They have a significant amount of damage outside of those ultimates as well, like Clinks, Exort, Invoker, Witch Doctor, Death Ward. Their lineup has great synergy. So if I'm VP, I'm probably trying to play a little bit faster tempo, try to control the early game, maybe look to try to get an early Roshan if it's possible, you know, push into some of the tier 1s and try to make sure that Empire don't just get the chance to go 5-man wombo combo, because that's their biggest strength.
And of course, yesterday I want to say FNG in both the games he played Darkseer, didn't he?
I think he played it for one for sure. He might have played both games Darkseer. I'm not,
because I don't think he did. I think he played the Beastmaster yesterday, did he? Because I'm pretty sure. Didn't Kefka play Beastmaster in both the games against
Kefka did.
VP?
Yeah.
So for a London Conspiracy. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he comes out this one, because we did see him give us some really good offlane performances on at least on that Darkseer game yesterday. I remember. Yeah, he did some really.
It's a bit of a different playstyle though. Like the Beastmaster, you have to be much more proactive about, you know, hawk scouting, making sure you're getting the information for your team. And if he's making a lot of the shot calls during mid game, it's going to be a little bit difficult because it's a really big change up. I mean, as a support, you're constantly looking at the minimap and whatnot, and you're not really always thinking about your individual lane. But as an offlaner, sometimes you're forced to, you know, he's trying not to die is what he said in his interview, and that can distract you from what your game plan should be.
No, G. Mid lane against Scandal, just trying to get a bit of a rest there with the Spirit Siphons and Cold Snaps being thrown about. The CS-wise 7 for 5, 7 for 4, still fairly even and well with this rotation. And the tethered up line, they're going to bring Scandal low. Can't quite take him down there, but nonetheless, really pushing back that Invoker and giving more space here for G to pick up the farm and try and get himself ahead in this matchup.
Just trying to help win the lanes a little bit more. They realize since they're against Enigma that if the supports just sit top, you might be able to stack a few camps, might be able to go back and clean it up with your Sven a little bit later on, but you want to try to influence the map in some way. If you just have 2 supports sitting in one lane all the time, you're not being efficient, more or less. And I think that VP, if they want to get off to a quick start, obviously getting 6 on the IO as soon as possible is going to be to their advantage. And you can't really do much to avoid, I think, with this particular support duo. Because yeah, you can mana drain, you know, you can harass, but I don't really think there should ever be a point where the Void dies, unless he makes like a really big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at the lineup of Empire as well, and going back to what Scandal was talking about yesterday, where obviously he was talking about the fact as they are new, they don't really have an established shot call, and it's a little bit of a mess in the team communications. Yeah. When you're running a lineup like this, that's got to be quite a hindrance, surely, because you are looking for some really nice synergy and really nice team fight.
Well, that's just it. You're relying basically on individual skill when you don't have a confirmed leader. So you're playing around this black hole in the chronosphere. And if you don't have the right shot caller and saying like, okay, this is when we need to fight, this is how we're going to position it, you throw an ult down and it's not well placed, you can just lose that fight. Like you're going to be fighting into Exorcism, Godswing Sven, Relocates, and Beastmaster Vision. It's a lot to think about with these heroes who are very predicated around their level 6. So it's like Pycat was saying, he would rather play VP's draft because it just has a lot of options, where Empire's game plan is relatively straightforward. It's we want a 5-man, we have good push. That's our game plan.
Mid lane, they're going to try for Scandal again. No fear, trying to see if he can close the gap. Scandal, he's not going to be caught out by the stun, and now Scandal just turning. Nice Sunstrike on point as well as Scandal. Oh, he can't quite do it, but the rotation from Eposhka will clean up one, and now King are coming in as well. They'll clean up 2. They do get a double kill for the Enigma. It did cost them the Invoker's life, but
that was mega not worth.
I was going to say, Empire happy with VP throwing those bodies at them.
Yeah, I understand wanting to pressure the Invoker so much, and you can definitely tell that VP are trying to help G as much as they can, because this is the kind of hero where Death Prophet, you die 2 or 3 times in the laning phase. It's just so hard for you to come back from that. I gotta see FNG getting harassed a bit. Oh, he's gonna walk. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he's a gonzo. Maledict. Boop.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is a great start for Empire.
Yeah,
this
is an impressive show.
This is exactly what they need. And normally you would look at this and you'd say, okay, maybe they don't have the kill advantage this early because they have an Enigma. But the thing is, VP ran right into the Enigma, which is probably the worst possible thing to do.
They really wanted that kill on the sky. I mean, they just both went straight in with no regards to the whereabouts of anyone on the side of Empire, and then it kind of bit them in the foot.
And more often than not, that's the kind of hero where he just kind of does his own thing for the first 8 or 9 minutes, and then comes out of the jungle a little bit later to start harassing people or drop a black hole. But in this game, already the fact that Empire have had such a start like this, where they kill the mid laner, you know, they get a return kill, Enigma was part of that as well. It's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
We're going to see top lane no fit. Maybe seeing if he can catch out the Void. Things have been going all right here on this the offlane for Afterlife. He's getting the good XP. They've been unable to kind of force him out of the lane. He's going to have that level 6 very shortly, but I guess that's expected with a Void, and unless the Lion's kind of there all the time, which he hasn't been, we see no fear putting more attention towards the mid lane. And talking about the mid lane, Riposhka, he's not messing around. They want this kill. He commits the black hole, and he's going to find it. And now even the Ayo's got to be careful. He's got to get himself out of here, and he might just lose his life as well. Post the Fairy Fire does follow up. He's going to be fine with a regen. But it's a clean kill from Empire. We talked about them maybe lacking in communication, but so far, the calls seem to have been on point from the side.
Yeah, they have a really good idea of what their lineup is capable of. And the thing about Invoker and ganking for him is it's very easy to do because the hero just does so much damage. So as long as you have some semblance of control against a Death Prophet, again, you kill that hero a few times, your early game just becomes a non-factor. And then you have to go back and progress in items after the fact and try to fight around your ultimate when you're squishy. And you're against a Clinks. Exer and Invoker on top of that.
Just the XP at this point. 4k leading XP.
Virtus.Pro at this point have not really done anything out of the lanes, but they have this kind of lineup where as soon as you start to get the level 6 on your supports, your Beastmaster gets Roar, that's when you can start looking for your smoke ganks. You can start to abuse the Hawk Vision a little bit more, try to open up some space on the map. Because the only person who's doing well is your Sven, and that is not good. Like, look at the net worths. Like, everyone on the side of VP is just on the bottom, except for the DP and the Sven.
Is on Yoka. I kind of feel that we saw the game that, well, VP played yesterday, didn't they? And they
yeah, they 2-0'd against.
They did. No, they 2-0'd yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah. And it was a fairly convincing 2-0 as well.
It was against Sonic Conspiracy. But yeah, this matchup against Empire.
FNG is down again.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much is every lane is going great for Empire. It's just the top lane where Afterlife's unable to do too much in terms of shutting down the Sven's farm, but still, the Void's not having a bad time in terms of finding things for himself.
He's got more net worth than the offlaner VP by a long shot. Like, FNG is not looking to be in a great spot, and G is also in the same position. He's still sitting toe-to-toe with the Invoker, which is fine, but the supports and the Enigma are all just farming at such an accelerated rate that VP, they have this kind of mid-game control the map style sort of team, but if you give Empire a triple lane win, doing that is going to be so much harder for you. And right now, that's pretty much what's happening. Empire are just winning all 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Even if the Void's not
And that's with an Enigma who's, you know, for the most part of it sat in the jungle. Even the kills that he's been involved in, they kind of came to him, apart from when he came in with the black hole.
Yeah, but the mid-rotation when he has black hole is fairly common.
Oh, with the cold
He's
snapper,
he's so
just
dead.
coming in. It's
Yeah.
Ramsey's just making the right rotation at the right time, and he's 1-0-2 on this safe lane Clinks.
It's fantastic movement coming out from Empire. They're actually the ones dictating the tempo. They're the ones saying, okay, we're going to make sure that your Death Prophet has an abysmal start, because that's one way to take away from the 5-man capabilities that Virtus.Pro actually do have, is making sure that G just dies.
And look at this. I
Yeah,
mean,
they have the
Empire.
vision.
I mean, one thing the Empire, you know, they've got to be careful about that. We have seen some teams that they can't get ahead of themselves. They've got to keep looking for the clean kills, and they're going to try him. But at the same time, Scandal's already picked off Nofra on the line on the sidelines. Ramses might just find a low darts, and he will. So they clean up too. The G's hanging around with Yoku, but they can't do anything in terms of catching out the Clinks. He's out of there. And now, well, they're going to go back in. Yoku trying to go with the Storm Hammer, but the Deathball gets laid down. And this is an absolute mess for VP. They lose G. Yoku barely getting himself out of there. The Sunstrike isn't going to be on point, unfortunately. Yoku plays it smart there with the pathing. But 9-1 before the 10-minute mark. A lot of, well, we were all totally wrong on the panel. We were thinking that Empire, they were going to struggle today, and this man's got his mech done on the Enigma. This couldn't be a better start for the side of Empire.
As Jake walks by, cheering to himself about the prediction that he made. No, it's fantastic play from Empire. You can't take anything away from them. The Clinks rotating out of his lane as soon as he gets death packed. The rotation mid from the...
Look at Death Prophet's net worth compared to the Witch Doctor,
oh, dude,
position
I know.
5.
It is mega bad. And the other problem as well is because VP were so far behind in terms of levels, their Lion isn't level 6, so they don't have that kind of burst damage that they need to counteract the mech. So that's one thing that you look to normally to try to get those kills. And
I mean,
yeah, there's a
are
roar.
you getting this? Are you not getting
Yeah,
this?
not even close. Like the synergy of them using the roar into the relocate wasn't even there. Like you have to say.
And now these guys are in trouble. I mean,
yeah, they're
at
gonna.
the least.
I think they're
okay,
gonna
no,
go
you
back.
should be able to get back in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to say in advance, it's like, I'm going to roar, because you technically want to start the relocate before the roar even goes off. Because that way, you know, you see it on the mini-map, but you don't have time to react because you're going to get roared mid-channel. And then they pop on top of you before the time walk comes up. But honestly, I'm not even sure they had the damage to kill him in the first place. Like, that's a level 1 Sven stun, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you don't have the burst to kill him anyway. Record-breaking for both teams. Not surprising.
I mean, this game just feels very off for VP and just very on for Empire. You know, Empire just playing it perfectly, and VP are making mistakes.
They are making a tremendous amount of mistakes. And the thing is, they're not even
And this
anticipating
mid
the
lane,
movement.
there's a chrono
They're
on to
dead.
3. What's going on, VP? 2 are dead. I mean, Empire, they're just on top of VP up top, and G's left on his own. Now he's got Yoku turning up, and now with the help of a lower dance, maybe they can look to try and turn. Afterlife, he's low on the mana. He may be the first casualty here in this fight for the side of Empire, and he will be, so they do get the void kill. Now Yoku on the retreat. Miposhka does have a black hole. And Yoku's just going to go for the TP out. So at least they find something in return, but still it's a bit of a shambles.
Just need to pray for Empire to mess up a lot. That's what you're looking to. And the thing is, that's really interesting is...
this poor old Aya.
he's got that medallion as well. He should be dead. Yeah, he's dead.
Sunstrike as well.
See you later. But this is the power that a Clinks can offer you.
Alright, King Art. I don't think he gets himself out of this one. Oh, I say that. He's gone. Spirit siphons up.
Alrighty. So we're getting some kills. I actually think that G is going to be forced into a very early ghost up here this game. I don't think he can avoid it, because he needs something to mitigate the physical damage of the Clinks, otherwise he's going to die way too fast.
Yeah.
Maybe he buys like a casual hit point item like a vitality booster instead, but I still think that he absolutely needs some way to stop the Clinks from just beating him down.
I mean, at least G's overtaken the farm of the Witch Doctor now.
Yeah, that's good. You know, your mid player being ahead of a position 5, that's what you want.
That's something.
Yeah, you definitely want that bare minimum. Clearly this game is not the early game that VP were looking for by any stretch. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do about this.
That line's not got a chance in the world to even
They don't
think
have
about
roar
what he
either.
wants to do.
They might kill him anyway.
You know, they've got Dust. He's fairly tanky, but not tanky enough, of course, and Ramses.
Okay, so that's worth
Face was
actually.
right, yeah.
That's worth it.
A
for
lion
MVP.
for an incredibly farmed Clinks. I'd say, and especially seeing as Sven got the gold as well for ending that streak.
Yeah. It's going to be hectic though, because VP are kind of in a scramble now where they need to try to get enough ganks to establish some map control. That's really what they need right now. They need breathing room for the Sven to start getting farmed, but the biggest issue is that the Clinks is working out so well in regards to establishing Empire's map control, just finding the Clinks, finding the Lion, the squishy heroes that just can't live long enough to even react to how much damage they're taking. They just die in a couple of auto attacks and a Sunstrike.
And FNG, he's going to be the one to tank this gank by the looks of it. Walks into the smoke. They do have a chrono. They're going to commit it onto FNG here. The rest of the side of VP are coming through. Stormman told Afterlife back, but yeah, the meteor damage at this point of the game. Melting through that Beastmaster.
I gotta say, this feels like a very different Empire than what we saw yesterday.
It really does. Something happened to them last night.
Well, something good, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Maybe they went in like the hyperbolic time chamber, just practiced for like a year straight, but it only took like 12 hours.
I mean, as they said yesterday, you know, that it was part of their first kind of 3 or so games. So maybe they just needed to kind of get the ball rolling and had those.
If it
opening
only
matches
takes
to get
like
used to
3 games to get like this kind of
You're
movement,
going places.
yeah, you're probably going to be happy with the way things worked out. But you can definitely sense that something for VP is off, just in the relocates themselves and how they've been trying to take fights. I also think that not maxing stun on a Sven with this type of lineup is a little bit of a... Like, this is the standard Sven build, right?
I was going to say, this is the build that everyone does now.
Yeah, it's the
always
build that
one
everyone
point in
does,
the
but I
story.
also feel like you want the extra burst when you have an IO. Like, that's the point. You go in for the one and done, right? You get a roar, you go in, you maximize your damage output for that small window and get out. You don't want to sit around and wait for other people to get there. And having that level 1 stun means that they couldn't kill the Void. I mean, obviously the relocate itself was slow, but they're just not giving themselves many opportunities to kind of bring themselves back unless Empire do make a mistake.
We'll see if
Radiant's bottom
VP
tower
going to
is
assume it.
under
They're kind of
attack.
grouped up towards the bottom.
And on the bright side, Yoku still has a tremendous amount of farm.
I mean, yeah, he
Dire's
is
middle tower is
really
under
setting
attack.
himself apart.
And Sven is
Radiant's
very
bottom
hard for
tower
Klinks to
is
deal
under
with
attack.
because you're so fast and you have so much armor, and Klinks is nothing but physical damage. He wants to kill the supports. He doesn't want to focus the Sven. So there are some ways for VP to bring themselves back into the game, and looks like Empire just going to take the 5-man route here, and rightfully so. Their 5-man is pretty ridiculous. They're going to have Chronosphere at the ready, I assume, by the time VP wants to go back to defend. But this is a tense point in the game for VP. They still need more time. If they can make it another, 10-15 minutes without getting a Rax taken, I would say that VP can maybe equalize the game.
And I think at this Roche here without cutting cost, but
They're going to
it's
scout it.
out.
Yeah.
You can't stick around.
You
there if
need
you're
to
VP.
think of real hard of if you want to commit to this if you're VP.
Chronosphere,
This is
Black
mega
Hole.
dangerous.
All right,
They're killing it
Afterlife.
fast.
If he gets a Chrono to start this one, but he has
Oh, the
been
silence.
silent. Big
Okay, that's
silence.
good.
Yeah, and that gives them the time here to get Yoku and Aegis. The Chrono's
That's
nice on
weird.
for 3. Deathball comes through as well. Meteor. Foxy G, the Black Hole to follow up, bring them in. They've taken down G. They'll take down Yoku the once. He's going to be back for round 2. No, they're trying to come in, but the time dilation just causing so many issues here for the side of VP as they try and back. Yoku now caught between 4 of them, but with everything, the Forge Spirits, the Eidolons beating down to the Sven. He's got no chance, and now with the slow applied to No Fear, Afterlife moving in for the 3rd kill of the fight. Oh, the Verify is going to buy some time. It's not enough for No Fear as they lose the line as well. I mean, they get Roche, they get the Aegis, but it's doing that against this lineup, you're always going to be punished.
The biggest issue that they're running into, I think, is there's just too much stuff in the fights, like Forge Spirits, conversions being put on the Lion, put on the IO, and the Sven just gets kited because he doesn't have BKB yet. So that Ice Wall just totally destroyed any chance of the Aegis being useful there for Yoku. His team gets isolated because they drop a Sphere and a Black Hole that pretty much zones out the rest of VP as we're going to see FNG.
Oh, getting stunned up with the ball.
I think he's alright, though.
Looks like they don't want to jump any further. VP are all back up now.
G? He just Yules the Forge Spirit. Not the greatest. They need to punish this.
They need to find something. No, the stun won't quite catch the AoE onto anyone. They will find King R by the looks of it. God's strength, they're not messing around. The Witch Doctor is out. Scandal, he's just gaming them. And he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Misfire. I think it was on cooldown anyway.
Yeah,
I think he was just spamming it.
Yeah. And this man's going to be fine as well. Afterlife on the way out. So we're looking at 17 for 5. It's still, I mean, it still is, as you were saying earlier, Yoku's farm is great. Considering how this whole game's going,
Right.
he's keeping it clean. You know,
But
he's
this is
not
what
messing up.
This is what you always see with the Svens.
Yeah.
Is even in games where they're behind, they always manage to get farm because they basically have like Battle Fury on steroids, and he's got an IO, which means that normally if you have a normal Sven lineup, you don't actually get the chance to farm everywhere because you have to be present at the fights. But unlike those games, he has an IO that can just take him to the fight. So it's like being a Spectre while being a Sven at the
Having
same
in
time.
the same farm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his BKB is nearly done. So maybe that will, you know...
It will help a lot, but there's not really any reason for Empire to drop Chronosphere or Black Hole on anything but the Sven right now. That's also the biggest issue. When you only have one threat, and you have 2 really long BKB lockdowns, you can just dump them both on Yoku. It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, fine, we'll kill your Sven during his BKB, or we'll at least disable him long enough to where the BKB is gone, and then where is your damage output? You know, how to VP take a fight if Empire are stacked up as 5 heroes?
Well, now they're going to be, you know, very aware of the threat that the Enigma does have a Blink Dagger. And we're 19 minutes and he's got that Blink on top of the mech and the Arcanes. And Black Hole is back on off cooldown in 10 seconds. Just pretty much the same time as BKB comes out. So already they've got that extra way of controlling the Sven.
It's a rough road for VP. It's doable, actually, even as grim as it looks right now. But they need to get some vision. They need to abuse Beastmaster and relocate.
Alright. Just going for a quick pick off onto G. Afterlife, he hasn't really got any backup. And, well, now, okay, that's a big Black Hole catching out to them on the sidelines here. No fear. He's going forward, but he's falling low, and he'll get taken down by the damage here of Ramses. Keeping King alive. Yoku trying to go through this fight here. He's being kited, will now turn and finish off the Witch Doctor. At the same time, G being chased down, and we've got to pause. Oh,
that is really not the best timing.
That's not the best time to pause.
Ollie.
So what's happening here? Afterlife, is he getting this kill? Yeah, Dilation in a second.
Dilation's up really soon. Although he's Spirit Siphoned, he might not be fast enough.
And he's been rolled.
Okay,
Alright, they'll get the Afterlife kill as well. Sunstrike. Oh, gee, nearly walking under it.
They might get the Invoker as well. Oh no, no tether.
Alright, so I mean that
dead.
was... Yeah. I was easy from the numbers there. BP gonna be happy with that fight. G still playing around. Ramses, can you look for any kind of pickoffs on the back of this?
It's really risky.
Enigma jumping forward, and look at this damage! G didn't have a hope in hell there.
And that is why you need a Ghost. But unfortunately, Diffusal's already done.
Yes.
So even if he gets it now...
So how do you deal with that?
You can buy... I suppose you can get health, or you can try to get armor or blade mail, maybe? Because if you know that the Clink's just by his Diffusal, there's still a really large window to where he's going to have to build up to BKB. And maybe you can abuse the blade mail a little bit during that time. I don't know. It's tough though. This is not where you want to be as Death Prophet. And again, we talked about it. How if you die a few times, your item progression is so slowed that you never really get to a stage where you're tanky enough. And I feel that's going to be one of the biggest reasons why VP are going to have a hard time winning, is because the Death Prophet is just not meaty. She can't take a hit.
No.
She needs basically Sven's Warcry on her to just live through the sheer amount of damage that this Clinks is doing right now.
Up on lane, Afterlife continues to find some space, and Barnesby good. He's going to get roared here.
What?
Yeah, but the relocate.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I didn't hear the relocate, actually. That was really bizarre. Normally you hear it when they're channeling it in, but I didn't hear it that time.
Yeah,
good pick, though.
Yeah, that's nice. That makes it, you know, Empire really think twice about looking for any fights themselves. King up. He's going to start making his way towards that Aghanims. He's got the point booster done, coming to 800 as well.
No, but this is where their lineup, I think, functions the best, is when Empire don't have all of their ultimates at the ready, and you can abuse the Beastmaster relocates, because the cooldown is not really too long.
Ramses is trying to get in position. Warcry comes out from Yoku. He's going to need a fair few arrows to take down this man, but he is doing it slowly but surely, bringing Yoku low. It will back off. No fear, just making sure they're not chased down. Now, they do have everyone back up. Just the Black Hole that's still on cooldown for the side of Empire if they do want to try and fight.
Yeah, Yoku's farm might be enough to keep him in this game. Sven's that kind of hero where even in the most insane deficits, one good blink stun and a couple of cleave auto attacks can bring a fight back, you know? There's not many heroes in Dota like that, but Sven is one of them. If it were any other carry, I would say that VP have such a hard time winning this game, but because of the fact that not only is Sven, but Yoku has insane net worth. Still doable.
Let's see if you want to try and do anything about this. The push coming through from Empire. They'll pop the fortification. At the same time, you have got Sven and I looking to get at least something from the mid lane. If they start to work towards the tier 2 of the Radiant.
And this is probably the best way that Empire can play it. BS5, go for the slow siege, concave, get all your conversions out, get your forward spirits out, and make it so the Sven has to commit to you. The Sven ideally doesn't want to jump in when you have such a nice push going. You know, you solar crest the creep on the high ground. You have a lag.
I think this could be nice because the VP trying to wrap around from behind. Chrono comes in, holds Yoku in place whilst the BKB's up. The paralyzing cast bouncing for his one. Yoku, in fact, he's getting low into the right move. The deathbolt as well is going to be enough. The deathbolt clips him right on the edge. Great ult from King R. FNG just getting destroyed by the Clinks as Ramses picks up another one for the team.
And this is why you don't want your Sven to engage like that.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just the fact that Deford only just got the kill. It was right on the edge, and they've still got Black Hole available for this push, so yeah, VP, I think, well, at the least, they're going to lose this set of racks.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to buy back, actually. Maybe the buybacks they can hold. We'll see what they can do with this one. Using Ramses up. He has been dusted. They'll try and chase him down, but Afterlife jumps back in. They've still got that Black Hole on Maposhko. Watch the Enigma, see if he can find an opening. VP, they're ramping up fairly close to the Sunstrike from Scandal. On point as he takes down G, FNG down as well. And now Yoku having to go back to base. That, of course, is a dieback on FNG. A low dance coming in on the relocate.
All right, that might just be a good game. Even if they buy back on the DP, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
They need a huge initiation from Yoku. They need something big from the Sven. 10 seconds till God's Strength. But already, Empire, they want to continue the fight. They're forcing the Sven back. They're jumping in onto G at the top. He'll use himself. Yoku, 3 seconds to God's Strength. He needs something huge. The ult is now up. If he can find a Storm Hammer, maybe. With no fear stuns as well. But Empire, they've already cleaned up G on the Death Prophet. They're now looking towards the second lane of Rax. And it's just 2 of them up on VP. Aloha Dance really holding on to that buyback. He's going to be back in 10 seconds. Afterlife comes in. Will be Glimmer Caves and Solar crested up, so there's no way that you can go back in on that one. And it is going to be a second set of racks down in the mid lane. Empire just really turning up full force, and after those last 3 fights and the buyback that Yoku had to use, you're now seeing the Clinks and the Invoker sitting at the same level as Farm as this Sven.
Yep.
And it's Empire need to make a lot of mistakes now for VP to come back into this one.
Everything just went wrong for VP this game. Ever since the first blood. You know, they tower dive this Invoker. They're saying, okay, we need to keep mid down, help our mid, make sure that our Death Prophet has a good start so G can just get tanky. We can, you know, 5-man around him, which is fine. Like, the idea itself is okay, but you're putting yourself in a position where the hero who is least likely to rotate is going to be able to contribute by diving so hard. So they give away 2 kills straight up, and then every single rotation that the Clinks did was successful. Every rotation that the Enigma did was successful. It just, you know, everything clicked for Empire for the first 10-15 minutes.
It was really smooth.
When you have their kind of lineup, and you have that kind of an early game, and you win all 3 lanes, your 5-man potential just becomes almost impossible to deal with.
Now, is this a smoke and go kill or smoke and go rush?
I think this is a just check rush, because you need to.
They're on to Scandal. Yoku jumping as well, but the Chrono Afterlife, he catches up to Black. Oh, the Black Ball! It's on to 3 VP! They're gone! Oh my goodness, G as well on the side. He's going to get taken down as well. And GG is called after a black hole like that. What can you do? Oh my goodness, Empire. Well, I have my doubts at the start of the day, Andy, but if they're able to do that to VP in 26 minutes, I'm looking forward to the rest of this day. We've got 4 matches of Empire. We've already seen 1. I mean, I'm sure in game 2, VP will try and step it up a little bit, because that game was just, it was nothing less than a mess from them. Nothing seemed to go right apart from Yoku's farm on the Sven, and at the end of the day, that just wasn't enough.
Well, they did manage to hold on for a decent amount of time, given how horrendously bad the early game was for them. But honestly, I mean, we talk about it, it's like, you lost all 3 lanes against a better 5-man comp.